And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Wednesday, April 24th. I'm the host for today's program, Paul Demain, and many of the stories right here can also be found in our publication at News from Indian Country or online at IndianCountryNews.com. And here are some of the news stories for the day. The Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes have no plans to kill a grizzly bear that mauled a man near the tribal college in Pablo, Montana last week. A tribal natural resources spokeswoman has said it was a surprise encounter between a female grizzly and her two yearling cubs in an area that is frequented by bears, according to tribal natural resources spokeswoman Jermaine White. The bear charged, attacked, and retreated and left the area. It was clearly defensive behavior. She was defending her cubs. Tribal wildlife officials consulted with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's Grizzly Bear Recovery Coordinator, Chris Servheen, in determining that the bears and the area of the encounter will be monitored closely. However, the bears haven't been seen since the attack. Canoe teams were leaving the Juneau, Alaska area for Wrangell April 24th to take part in a rededication of a tribal house on Shakes Island. The Juneau Empire reports two teams from the One People Canoe Society were scheduled to leave from Douglas Island on April 24th. The paddlers hope to arrive in Wrangell May 2nd to take part in the rededication activities and ceremony, which are scheduled for Saturday, May 4th. The Shakes Island Tribal House is listed on the National Historic Register. According to the Facebook page for the renovation project, the tribal house had undergone no major reconstruction since it was first completed in 1940. Over time, according to the rededication booklet, the Southeast Alaska weather, water damage, insects, and other critters have made a mess of the site. Seattle Mayor Mike McGinn and other city and tribal leaders have formed a new coalition to oppose coal trains and coal exports in the region. At a news conference April 22nd, the leaders raised concerns about the impacts that increased coal train traffic through Washington state would have on street traffic, human health, and the environment. 5 ports proposed in Washington and Oregon would ship as many as 140 million tons of coal a year from Montana and Wyoming's Powder River Basin, where it could travel by rail through communities such as Spokane and Seattle, Washington, before being loaded onto ships bound for Asia. Trains already carry coal from the Rockies through Washington state for export through British Columbia. Opponents worry that the increased rail traffic would create more congestion and other problems for people living near the tracks. The Mashantucket Pequot tribe, owners of Foxwoods Resort Casino in eastern Connecticut, say they will partner with a provider of an internet gambling provider to begin offering online games this year. The Mashantuckets and Game Account Network announced the deal on April 22nd. It must be approved by federal regulators. The tribe and the London company say they will initially focus on play for fun online gambling in the United States. The two parties will be ready for real money gambling if online gambling is legalized. The tribe and Game Account say they will provide business-to-business services to other U.S. gambling operators. Mohegan Sun, Foxwoods' Connecticut competitor, reached an agreement last year with Las Vegas-based Bally Technologies to provide free-play online poker. A home building company aiming to supply housing for western North Dakota's booming oil business, where housing is lacking, wants to set up shop on the Standing Rock Reservation where jobs are scarce. A home manufacture facility in Fort Yates could bring up to 45 full-time jobs to the area, paying between $13 to $22 per hour, according to Rick Downs with A-Tech Builder Corporation, who also told the Bismarck Tribune he wants to avoid locating the facility in a western city where finding workers and housing for those same workers might be problematic because of all the available jobs in the oil fields. The homes would be built in full, finished and shipped whole from Fort Yates facility, he said. The homes range in size from 1,100 square feet to 2,500 square feet and are designed to go into a finished basement or crawl space. 3 would be built at once indoors, so there would be year-round production resulting in about 50 homes per year. And that's going to be another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to say miigwech for joining with us and come back again soon.